I'm Anthony Bachman from All Things Good and Nerdy, a geeky podcast part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other fantastic geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Capes on the Couch podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Dr. Issues is a psychiatrist, but he is not your psychiatrist and does not have knowledge of your individual situation. For any personal mental health concerns, please consult your own healthcare providers. For medical emergencies, please call 911 or the designated number in your area immediately. Remember that you are not alone and help is out there.
Hello and welcome to Capes on the Couch, where comics get counseling. I'm Anthony Sitko.
And I'm Dr. Issues.
We are back with another Creators on the Couch, or in this case, Creator, singular, on the couch, as we are joined by half of the fantastic team behind Hocus Hocus and Grandma Chainsaw, the effervescent and always entertaining Allen Dunford. Allen, once again, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, I'm so happy to be back for my 11th episode. So thank you guys for having me, like always.
Yep. Just Allen tonight. No Will, unfortunately. Where is Will?
Will is working.
Working.
Yes.
Working.
I was going to say, that's a thing.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah. So I don't know if we talked about it. Will works in the art gallery here in town, and he has a set schedule, but then he doesn't. So it's one of those things where if they have a show coming up and he has to hang stuff, then he's there making sure all the pieces are labeled and all that stuff.
So not quite making enough bank from the Kickstarter to quit the gig just yet.
Soon. Hopefully soon.
Soon. Working on that. Understood. Well, this is your 6th appearance on the show now.
Oh my God. It doesn't feel like it, honestly.
Yeah. You're going to get your own category of episodes on our website, like, because they're categorized. And then there's like, we're going to have Creators on the Couch. And then below that, we're just going to have Allen and Will episodes. Yeah. Like, you just want to listen to all the Allen and Will stuff back to back.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, we're season 1.
Here you go. Here's the whole from start to finish. So for those listeners who have not been privy to one of the 5 prior appearances on the show, Allen, why don't you just give us a little bit of rundown on who you are and why you're.
I don't know why I'm here. I haven't discovered that purpose of myself yet, but
that makes 2 of us.
Yeah, right. So my name's Allen Dunford. I am the co-writer and creator of Hocus Hocus and Grandma Chainsaw. We've done a couple other comics and short stories and stuff like that, but those are the 2, I guess, well, like the better term, the 2 big ones that we've done. But yeah, so we like to try to keep it into the fun, weird, and unexpected genre, and always sprinkle in our own little brand of dark humor and horror in there.
And if you haven't already, definitely go back and listen to those first 5 episodes, because they are some of the funniest and also most off the rails creator interviews that we've ever had, because especially as we get more and more accustomed. I think the first one we stayed pretty on the rails because we didn't really know you guys yet.
Yeah, and I get that. We were playing it safe. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, exactly. Now at this point, it's like, oh, all right, Allen and Will are on. Yeah. We'll spend 15% of the time talking about the Kickstarter and the comic, and then the rest of the time is whatever else pops into our noggins.
Yeah, but that goes before recording. That goes after recording.
Yeah. We'll be here till probably midnight.
I hope not, because my ass got to go to bed at some point. I'm very tired.
I got plenty of work to do otherwise, because paperwork just sucks when it comes to my job, and I'm bad at it.
What they say in the workforce, paperwork makes the dream work. Right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. If you light it on fire, it
wonderful. Okay.
No, that's the paperwork makes the firework.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I get my phrasing mixed up. I'm so sorry.
All right.
I get those TP1 reports. TPS reports. They give off a special glow.
Yeah, and I don't go, and I know we're way off, but I'll just do it anyway. So I don't know if you guys have seen the whole effort, like guy just throwing papers into the air saying, enough of this. The main problem is with my job, it's like we all do that, and then right afterwards, it's us on the floor picking them up saying, just kidding, I need these.
Yeah, just kidding, I need these and this job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go ahead and pick up those reports, yeah, that'd be great. I was told I could listen to music at a reasonable volume. I used to have a red stapler on the desk. It was the red swing line stapler.
I forget how good that movie is.
I used to have an office by the window, and I could look outside, and I would see the squirrels, and I would pretend that the squirrels were married. I'm going to set this building on fire. I specifically asked for a margarita with no salt, and they put salt in my margarita. I could write a letter to your board of tourism. I could have this place condemned.
The fact that
guacamole.
The fact that you are doing the entire thing, I am going to tie this back. So the fact that my judge is responsible for writing something like that is also responsible for Beavis and Butthead, is also responsible for King of the Hill. You want to talk a wide range of ability
and Idiocracy.
Yes,
crazy.
You're right. You're right. Just the reason I say that is it's amazing what your brain can do when you just let it go wherever it needs to with an idea. And I think there is a grain of truth to that with Alan and Will. So,
good way to tie it back, Doc. All right.
I knew what I was doing. Don't worry.
Dang, man, you came in with down the metaphor, man. You started going off with the rail there, man. Kind of like one of them, crazy train there, man. And then all of a sudden come on back and then circle around, and dang, man, you just could make one little big old circle, and it's a beautiful thought, man.
I think we broken Anthony.
Oh no, I was broken long before this recording started.
All right.
So we are here for Grandma Chainsaw 2.
Mm-hmm.
The first issue, which we loved, kind of ended in a very different place than where anybody saw it coming. And again, we spoke about that when we recorded the first episode. Now we're here, and Doc and I have had an opportunity to see at least the first handful of pages from the sequel, or issue 2, and it picks right up where issue 1 leaves off, and it is just as bonkers as one would expect.
Yeah, we hoped that we blended it well, right? Because after, I think we have the first 6 pages that you guys have read. There's 2, we were talking about this a little bit backstage, but there's 2 more pages of, okay, we're developing, this is what's about to happen. And then that page, they finally go into the house. And then from that point on until issue 4, it is just off the rails. Like, we don't have to really do any more character development from that respect. Of course, there are going to be situations that arise that are going to challenge some of the characters emotionally, but we get to just cut loose, and no pun intended, right? And we get to just go absolutely crazy. And how issue 2 ends is probably more wild than issue 1. And I just can't wait for you guys to see it.
That is a high bar to set.
Yeah. I'm scared and excited.
Uh-huh.
Now,
I'm a little aroused.
Yeah.
Hey, I get it, right?
So I think I'm going to say this because I know Anthony has this idea, and I know I've thought the same thing, but Anthony says it much better than I do. We have both had this thought. You know how movies always have certain flows where there are action scenes and there are, quieter scenes where you have to set the pace and the tone, and, you can't just keep firing over and over again on the same high notes and all that. Well, what if you just did away with that? What if you just did high note after high note after high note, action sequence, like just nonstop, and just kept going with it? So when you say things like that, I start thinking to myself, like, you already had some interesting things happen. You've already introduced what clearly are some, let's just say, neurodivergent and unique people that are trying to handle this situation.
That was the best way to word those people.
So I am definitely intrigued as to how anyone actually gets anything done with this, but I'll leave that up to you. But if there are any hints at that, if you could like just kind of give us a little hint, maybe.
Right. So
just need a little hit, just a little bump to keep me going.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you. First one's always free, right? So what we did with the series, and this was something that we had to sit down and really think about, because again, you can have too much of a good thing. And if you do have too much of a lot, then it's weird at how much it equates and turns into your brain as it's only just a little, if that makes sense, right? Because you're used to having that high, and then it's just pulled right out from underneath your feet, and then it's like, oh well, where do we go from here? I don't really care anymore, right? So what we really tried to do with this thing was really really set it up and just have fun and just be absolutely crazy, but also have those lulls like you said, Doc. So at the beginning of issue 3 we have a lull because of how issue 2 ends. We have our lull, and then we set up the pace then going forward. And I think it's a good way to do it. And I think as a creator, we've kind of learned that and found our pacing, especially with Pocus. And I'm sure we'll get into how Pocus has kind of changed as the series has progressed. We like using the opening pages to set the pace. Like, even though Grandma Chainsaw 2, those are the opening pages, they're still really fast paced and still crazy, but we still got the point across for this is what we have to do. And these are our characters. So now once they actually make it into the house, it's game on. Like, we get to have fun. With this series, it's so hard to talk about and so hard to tease, because I feel like if we give anything away, it's going to give away the ending, because the ending, it's weird because it's not what you expect. But then when it happens, you're going to be like, oh, duh. Right. And of course, it was something this just kooky. Right.
Yeah, there's a shot of Grandma Chainsaw very early on in these pages, and she's engaging in some knitting.
Yeah. It's knitting. That's what we're calling it.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll call it knitting, cross stitching, perhaps.
Oh, definitely. Yes. See, that's the thing. It's definitely stitching.
Yes.
So it was funny
stitching
because
involved. Stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After we did the first issue, right? We didn't plan for it this way, but it's just kind of like how it happened. So we did the first issue, and we have the blood splatter that says Grandma Chainsaw Chapter 1. Then we were like, or Part 1, and then we're like, man, let's just see what we could do for Part 2. And we did the knitting of the skin. And then in Part 3, we were like, okay, well, we have to step it up. And the title page for that one's going to be, it's cool. Okay. Yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
You stepped it up from that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this isn't like me trying to be that guy, but I don't know what we're going to do after that for issue 4 yet. All right. Because issue 3 is so metal for what we do with it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, all right.
Wonderful.
All right. I see, it's like I call and I raise.
Yes. But yeah,
Okay.
So with where the series is going so far and the feedback that we have received from Grandma Chainsaw, it was better than what we expected, honestly, because we felt like it was so high concept, but it just seems like people are just gravitating toward it and having fun. And it's kind of cool whenever we launch it, and then we're getting messages from people being like, finally, I'm so excited. Right. I think that's when, as a writer and as a creator, that's when, even if you have one person just message you and say, thank you for making a second issue, that's when you're just like, okay, I'm doing something right.
Yep.
Yeah, it is definitely a high concept, to be sure, especially with the twists that you take it at the end of the first issue. And so I'm very much looking forward to seeing where the rest of this goes now that we've kind of established at least these rules. Mm-hmm. So the set of otakus, shall we say, to put it tactfully, that you've assembled for this crew, how real are they to you? Because I definitely knew some of these guys in college. There was Wayne and Jeff. They would have absolutely fit right in with
the Dead Squad.
With the Dead Squad, without question.
I think we talked about it last time, but the Dead Squad is something that we were trying to figure out. Oh, God, this is going to sound like I'm sadistic, but great. I'm talking about Grandma Chainsaw, right?
That's a good thing.
So when we were writing this thing, we were like, okay, so we have our 4 characters. Then what? This is a slasher. How do we make it a slasher? What constitutes a slasher, right? How do we keep people engaged over a 4-issue span for a story like this. And we're like, okay, well, obviously we have to introduce new characters. Who are these characters going to be, and how can we make them fun and still somehow fit into this world? Will's idea was originally, he's like, well, let's just have like demon hunters, and like maybe they're like good old boys, and they drove in on their pickup truck and they have like shotguns in the back of their truck. And I'm just like, yeah, that's a really good idea. And we were developing it, and then we got to the point where we're like, it's not too boring, but it's not where we feel like it could be. And then I was like, why don't we make them like AV Club rejects type deal, right? And then that's where the Death Squad came about. We're like, okay, and then the ideas started flowing, right? Let's make them only use their gamer tags. Let's take that couple that everyone hated to be around and put them in there because they're just so disgustingly obsessed with each other. Let's put the one guy in there that thinks he's God's gift to everything, right? And we just had fun, and then we made Two Ton, and we love Two Ton so much.
It's a very, very interesting cadre of characters that you've assembled, and I look forward to them meeting Hazel and then their inevitable demise shortly thereafter. Because
that's the thing, right? It's no secret on what's going to happen to these guys.
Yeah.
That's something that we have not strayed or tried to shy away from since the beginning of all of this, because it's funny, right? Because the Dead Squad is ultimately there to ramp up our body count, and we're okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits the genre. It's the trope. You can't have a slasher type story with like 2 deaths. It doesn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that was something, again, like that's what we talked about. So with these guys, I grew up, how I spent my weekends. I spent them playing Friday Night Magic, and I spent them playing D&D with my friends, right? And we would play at our local game store. It's funny, the stuff that like in that culture, I love this stuff. Like I read manga, I do all this stuff. And it's just funny to even just kind of use it to make fun of yourself too, with some of the stuff and how, and even just play on how people perceive that culture too, right? Because we were throwing in crap that we thought maybe we'd have to do like an explanation for, but it seems like it's been pretty universally grasped on what it is.
If you know, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very much no longer the people who are shunned, as you say. Like, a lot of the cool kids play D&D now.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a little bit of a stigma, but it's nowhere near from when, say, people of our age cohort, were doing this stuff back in high school and college.
Right.
And it was even worse before that. You go back to something like the 80s, you see in Stranger Things. It's like we have to play, in somebody's basement.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that was the thing too. Like also with that, it wasn't so much from like a subculture standpoint, right? We also wanted to make these characters just so gross that you can't wait to see them die. So I think that's a good check mark of a slasher to have when there are some characters that you are emotionally attached to, because, I think you also need that balance, right? But then there's the ones that you're like, oh, thank God, I can't wait. You're chomping at the bit for the next issue because you're hoping that this one guy makes it or this one doesn't, right?
Yep. That's it. I just like to call them the killer tournaments. Just at some point you're gonna have that one shining moment of gore.
Oh yeah, dude. And that's the thing too. Like there's a scene in the second one, and I can't wait to talk about it with you guys after you read it, because I pulled a lot from my childhood and threw it in there. So I'm very excited to talk to you guys about that one.
Okay, so we'll get you on the couch and the hot seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
And it's this scene. I think you guys will know what I'm talking about, especially being raised by my grandmother. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to talk about this and how we can pull from our influences and our surroundings and stuff.
So the Kickstarter is live.
Mhm.
as of the other day, or at least when we're recording this.
Yeah,
as
we
of
we launched it,
before.
yeah, about 4 days ago. We funded within about 24 hours. So, yay! But we got promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. So, we have 20 odd days right now, and then we're obviously starting to push for the stretch goal portion of this whole thing.
So I see that there are some stretch goals. So at 4,500, there's going to be a sticker. At
Yes.
6,000, there's going to be a print, and at 7,500, there's going to be another print.
Yeah, by the series artist, the Brian Belanto, who is just exceptional.
That is definitely a word. There are many, many colorful, positive words you could use to
Mhm.
describe Brian's art. Let's talk about some of these covers, because I'm looking at them and just
Doc, which one's your
I-
favorite?
Okay, so
it's still the Sajad.
yeah, it has to. Oh,
Yeah, man,
The
Sajad did
Sajad.
crazy.
Yeah.
I love Kit's manga cover too. So
I was just about to say that one is also solid, because first off, I mean, it's Kit. He's got such a
Mhm.
distinctive style. It just jumps out at you right away. I'm assuming that is accurately translated Japanese for Grandma Chainsaw.
I put up Kit thinks he got the kanji right on it, and then I did the tried and true take Google Translate on your phone and hold it up to it, right, and it translated to Chainsaw Grandma, which I think is probably a good translation, right?
That's
Yeah.
about as good as you're going to get it.
Yep. And then
Um,
of course Brian's main, yeah, he understood the assignment, and it's just
He always does.
it's just crazy. And then Ruben Mocho, whenever I talked to him about it, I just wanted a good, iconic action, like just cover. And just the way that he positioned the blood splatter and everything, and the look on her face, and
Mhm,
how narrow he made everything. It's just
mhm.
he did such a good job.
He really did. It's very narrow is a good
Yeah.
word for it, because it's very angular. It's very sharp. That's not a reference to any cutlery or anything like that, but the angles of the face and the angles of the artwork it is very sharp and singular focused. So I do thoroughly enjoy that. And then we've got
Sajad, what do we say about Sajad's cover?
Whew.
It's
I
just
mean,
clean. It's just a
Yep.
good, clean cover.
well, it's not clean,
But
there's
you know.
a bit of blood there. Quite a bit of blood on there. So I don't clean. I get what you're saying.
It kind of gave me a little bit of like a Joker feel to it. Like,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And-
I just
and-
love looking at it.
I would say more. I'll be honest. As soon as you mentioned it, I'm just literally like just flipping back and forth with the covers. I really enjoy these types of things, just going back and forth. So
The
And I think
eyes. That's another
yeah.
thing that I love about the Sajad cover is the eyes.
yeah,
Mhm.
There's no pupils.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all
just
white.
oh god, it's just horrific. And like you were saying, Doc, too, like so on this thing, what we wanted to do, especially going forward and stuff, we want each cover to feel like it's its own beast, right? We want all the variant artists to have their own personality, because that's the purpose of a variant cover, right? It's a variety to showcase the artwork of the artist and how versatile and different they can be from the story. And I just think that these guys, it's something for everyone. And it's kind of like what we did with Pocus 5. Like, I love Sajad's cover for that too, because it looks drastically different from this one. And he did such a good job, man. And then, of course, we have our exclusive, the holofoil metal cover by Juan Angel. We actually found Juan when we were looking for just another cover artist. We saw his work, and Juan does mainly these eldritch horror portraits. So we're like, let's see what he does with the grandma and a chainsaw. And then we got that, and we're like, this is horrific.
yep.
Yeah, it's beautifully creepy,
Mhm.
and I'm here for it.
Although I'm sure this wasn't the intention, because at least with the with the first edition, I loved a lot of those covers, and my daughter saw one of them and said, "Oh, I have to read this."
How old's your
like,
daughter?
She's 11. So I
Okay.
basically said, I'm like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
And mind you, because I would be a hypocrite, because I got exposed to those things around that age, decades ago. So
My first movie was Terminator 2.
gotcha. So,
Yeah.
so it's not that I didn't say she can't read it. It was more like, just do it during the day when we're awake because I didn't want her to freak out at night or something. And I don't know why I was worried because honestly, she's doing some shopping for new clothes for the summer and stuff. And the first thing she does is drag my wife to Hot Topic and get some of these like death metal style t-shirts. And I'm just like,
Awesome.
oh, okay, never mind. We're good.
All right, so we'll send her own copy for the next one. Got it.
Yeah, she's very much her father when it comes to that kind of thing. So we got all the variant covers. Love the shirt.
Oh, yeah, the Dead Squad tee. I don't know who wants to be an honorary member for the Dead Squad, but we thought it was just hilarious just to throw that t-shirt in there.
It's a cool logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, the interlocking DNS. I dig it. It's simple but straightforward. Plus it's black and red, literally my two favorite colors. So you got me.
Made it just for you, Anthony. It's all for you, Anthony. It's all for you.
That's what I love to hear. Just love it, love it, love it. And then, of course, you've got the different tiers and the add-ons where you can catch up on not just the first issue, but also Pocus Hocus.
Right.
Now, I see that among the tiers and the add-ons and such is the Horus and Hell #1 Ash Can.
Yes.
Now, we have seen more of Horus and Hell.
You have. And it's kind of an exciting thing because that's going to be our next campaign. It's going to be the fully fleshed out Horus and Hell issue 1.
So that is the next campaign before we get back to Pocus 2/2.
Yeah, so the 6th installment of Pocus Hocus, we're working on that right now as well. And we're kind of gauging it to see. So we're kind of in a weird spot right now because we're about to hit the direct market with Pocus 1, right? So the sooner we can finish Grandma Chainsaw, the sooner we get in the direct market. But we also want to keep putting out Pocus because we love that story so much. And we already know where we're going up until like issue 12. So it's just one of those things where we're trying to find the time and the gas power, I guess, to do everything. So it's a fun balancing act for all this, especially when we have these projects that everyone on the team is just so passionate about and having such a blast with.
Yeah, it's a wealth of riches at this point. You're like, which of these well-received and acclaimed projects should we work on next?
Yeah.
If only I had enough time to work on all of these passion projects that everyone seems to enjoy and people want more of. Woe is me.
Whoa. We are. I do want to talk to you guys about this here in a second, but we're anxious to see how Horus and Hell is received because it's our first time producing a full book with Kit Wallace because the artwork is so different from Brian's, you know what I mean? But, Brian is doing a variant cover for Horus and Hell. So we're obviously keeping that spirit there too. And Brian might be working on something else for Horus and Hell, but I'll reveal that later because we obviously want to keep all the team together for all this stuff because we're all just having a blast, man. But yeah, we're excited to release that. And you guys got a chance to see 3 new pages and the cover that we haven't revealed yet. And I will say this, I love everything that Kit does, but the new cover for Horus and Hell might be one of my favorite things that he's ever done.
Okay. Yeah. You would send it to me over text and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy smoke, this is incredible.
Yeah, this is that's the spirit of the book. So that's where we're going with it. And it's just wild.
So let's talk about another project. This one is a little more, shall we say, personal to Doc and I. Let's talk about the Skinner.
Oh, okay, wonderful. It's a heartwarming tale.
Yes,
it is.
Lots of warming. And
yes, it puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, so I think we talked about it before. The folks at Bad Bug asked us to do another short story for their Roseblood Manor horror anthology. The first one we did was The Wandering Man, which was about a art connoisseur who gets more than what he ever bargained for with a masterpiece painting. Right. And then now this one, Roseblood Manor, takes place in an asylum in this issue. And I read through the frame narrative that they have, and then I was like, I think I have a good idea for a story. We're going to do one about a serial killer that happens to be also living in the asylum. And then out of my brain poured the Skinner. and I think I need help. Doc, you got time after this?
Based on what happens in the story, probably not.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
to take in.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so the Skinner, it kind of does what it says on the label. It's like our grandma chainsaw, right? So it's about a serial killer who skins people because he is trying to make the sinner thinner because a voice in his head is telling him to do these things, and he finds out his ultimate purpose is he actually needs to be the victim.
Yeah.
Which we thought that was kind of a fun twist, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's fascinating because on a daily basis, I have to ask that type of question. Like, is there anything that's telling you things that maybe we don't hear or we don't understand? Or is there anything specific if you are able to hear things that other people don't? And in this case, I'm used to people sometimes saying like maybe a little, but not anything specific I can make out, or yeah, it tells me bad things, but I try to ignore it and all this. In this case, it's more like, yep, it's there. Let's go. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, we're best friends. So the artwork on this thing, obviously, like everything we do, we tell Brian, just go crazy, have fun. And I really think Brian was in his element, and he made something so dark and gritty, and it just felt, it kind of sounds weird, it felt right to the story and everything. Completely blown away by the Polaroid pages that he made for pages 4 and 5 for the spread of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reveal of the angel and the knife. You know, I thought that he did just a cool job on all of it. And yeah, you guys, if you happen to read it for the anthology or anything like that, Anthony and Doc's name may or may not show up in there as one of the Skinner's victims in the Polaroid page. So
yeah, that looks nothing. By the way, that looks nothing like us. But then again, I guess that's the point.
Yeah, you guys are filleted at that point, right?
yeah, I look a little different with the top layer of my epidermis removed. So I'd imagine the features are going to be a little off.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Thank you guys for letting us throw your names in there.
And you texted me and you were like, oh, we did this thing. We threw your names in there. Let me know if it's not okay and we can edit it out. I'm like, in what universe would we say,
Man, some people are weird about
don't want my name associated with this?
Yeah. Some people are weird about it, and I always want to make sure, we're paying respect for people's wishes and stuff like that. So
I get it. I saw it and then I showed my wife and I was like, we are in this comic now. Like, we are named in it. This is amazing.
I'm really happy with how the Skinner came out. Writing short stories is hard, a lot harder than what I would think, because we're trying to get across, this, what I felt like was a relatively complex story in 8 pages. And I hope that we did that at least.
Oh, you did. So now where can folks get this anthology?
So it was on the Roseblood Manor Kickstarter. They're about to launch Roseblood Manor 3, and you can get back issues. We are not going to be on Roseblood Manor 3, but we're on issues 1 and 2. So if you do back Roseblood Manor 3, you can always get the previous issues as well.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I will scroll through that and check that the Kickstarter. So, after I get done backing Grandma Chainsaw.
Grandma Chainsaw number 2.
As always at this point now, it's like, okay, let me get some, a variant cover. Obviously, I don't need all of the, I don't need to catch up on the entire library.
Right. The Survivors Pack. Yeah.
Not necessary at this point.
And this is what I was wanting to talk about with you guys. I feel like we're really all getting in our stride over at the Top Hat camp. We were very happy with how Pocus 5 turned out. And it really did just give us that much more drive for Pocus Hocus 6, because we felt like we really set the world up with how dark it is, but still tried to keep the humor going. And this one was a little bit more challenging because things are getting really serious now for the group, right? And I don't know if you guys remember what chapter 6 is called, but it's chapter 6, The Death of Pocus Hocus. Mm-hmm. So we thought that was kind of a cool teaser for what's coming next.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm hungry. I'm here for it now.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll be very excited for the Horus in Hell Kickstarter, but all the time I'm going to be going, when are we going to see Pocus and Emily and everybody else?
Pocus and Emily and the family. And so, we're excited too, because in the next issue, we finally get to dive into Lily a little bit, because issue 5 is really our setup issue. right? We had a bunch of characters we had to go and get in. We had to Aladdin that shit. This was a whole new world. So we really had to like make sure we gave these characters just enough screen time to where, oh, I want to know more about this person. They seem kind of interesting, right? So now we get to really go in and show Lily as a 3-dimensional character in the next one, and her interaction with her assistant. And we just get to have a good character development scenario while still maintaining the pace and the severity of everything.
All right. So, we've talked about Grandma Chainsaw. We talked about Pocus and Horus and Hell.
Mhm.
We talked about the Skinner. Is there anything in any new universes that you and Will either individually or collectively are working on that is very different from these other stories?
We have 2 other series that we're currently developing. So because Grandma Chainsaw is going to end at issue 4, and I like using this example, we don't want a Jason Goes to Manhattan situation on our hands where we don't know what we're doing with it, and we're just Hazel goes to the big city, stuff like that. Like with something like this, and Doc, we were talking about this, like where you can have too many highs, right? And then that's when you bottom out. It's weird how it happens. Like the euphoria spikes and then it just crashes and burns.
Yep.
So we don't want Hazel to overstay her welcome. And we think with how it ends, it's going to be very satisfying for people while still also leaving them wanting more. And if we ever decide that we want to branch off from Grandma Chainsaw after that, hey, great. And if not, we're happy with saying this is it. This is our 4-issue mini for a slasher horror series. So we were thinking, of course, in that vein, what can we do next, right? So we're working on a detective story called One Sunday Afternoon, and it's about a detective who is given a case on a Sunday where he keeps finding the bodies of children, and we call our killer in it the Sabbath Killer because he only kills on a Sunday. So we're really playing into that and just having a lot of fun getting that going. And this one's looking like it's going to be a graphic novel just because of how the story's laid out. We think that it would be better told in one sitting. So we're doing it that way. And then the other one that we're cracking up over, it's in the same vein as Grandma Chainsaw, but it is called Deacon Dan's Famous Chili.
Oh my God.
And it's about a church deacon who has a very secret recipe to his chili, and people can't stop eating it.
Uh-huh. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So let me get this straight. You have
Does Coldplay show up at any point?
It's Coldplay.
Oh no.
They
Coldplay,
should.
right? It was
Scott Tournament. No, it was it Radiohead that showed up?
it was Radiohead.
It was definitely Radiohead.
That's what it was. Coldplay was Radiohead. Yes.
Yeah. So we have this very
He's got cancer in his ass.
Yeah. we have a.
There's also a Tales from the Crypt episode. It wasn't chili, but
didn't it have like Dean Cain in that episode or something?
No, well, you're right. It was a Superman. It was not Dean Cain.
Okay.
It was Christopher Reeve.
Thank you, because whenever we were talking about it with Brian, we're like, so this is what we're going for. We're doing a Sweeney Todd meets Dexter type deal.
Yay.
And thrown in with a little bit more like, why am I rooting for this guy? He's terrible. But of course, it's going to be very dark comedy, very brutal, very graphic. Deacon Dan's Famous Chili.
All right. So you're hitting more of the horror notes. You have a mystery graphic novel coming up. So what you're basically telling me is you want everything that you guys produce to take up all of my free time. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's the ultimate plan. That was whenever we have our roundtable discussions at Top Hat for, like our 2023 calendar, 2024, this is kind of what we're looking at. The number one part of the agenda is how can we take up most of Doc's time?
But in all seriousness though, but in terms of demographic, like you're hitting the types of notes where you pull people in, and that's an impressive thing to do, and making sure that it stays varied enough. And I definitely appreciate you pointing out that you don't want any one character or series to wear itself out.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do appreciate that. That way I don't have to groan when I hear about 3 more Star Wars movies, but that's a little off topic, and I don't know how Anthony feels about that, but whatever.
Yeah, so and that's what's weird, right? Because with Pocus Hocus, that story lends itself well to be an ongoing series because of how fantastical the world is. And honestly, with Pocus, the sky's the limit because there's so many supernatural forces that we can pull from and just crazy worlds that we can visit, and there's so many different scenarios from where you sell your soul that Pocus finds himself in. And even if it plays out one way, we can still take it a whole nother direction and it would still work. But Grandma Chainsaw only works well in a vacuum. What one Sunday afternoon only works well within that singular story. Deacon Dan, as crazy as it's going to be, it's only going to work well in like 3 to 4 issues, right? So that's why we're trying to keep it varied, still also have a good enough selection of titles that really we try to find something for everyone if they're looking for something darker, right? And something that's just fun. Ultimately, at the end of the day, as long as you're having fun, we're doing our job. So yeah, and I hope these things deliver. But yeah, it's been a blast so far doing all of this. And I appreciate you guys, especially just kind of being here for the ride since the beginning and seeing all this crazy crap that we've come up with.
You keep writing really entertaining crap and we will keep bringing you back. I mean, that's why you're here 6 times.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're going to get a category on the website just for you and Will.
Yeah, just showing up.
So we're going to start wrapping this up. Alan, we'll have links to the Kickstarter and everything else in the show notes so people can click on it and hopefully to back this fantastic content. Where can they find you on the internet?
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Twitter at Chaps of Fury. And, honestly, following us on Kickstarter. And our Substack is thetophatstudios.substack.com. That our newsletter is obviously easiest because we won't blow up your inbox. If we have something going on or just some artwork we want to show off, we'll send it over to you and you can check it out and have fun with it.
Awesome. And hopefully when we get you back next time on the show, hopefully Will can join us.
Yes.
That he will not be working. The sound of that. Come on, man. It's a Saturday night.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing working?
You guys are lucky I wasn't called in to work for this. So, hey.
Yeah, it's like, poor Doc. Just always has that phone ready.
Fair enough. So that's going to do it here. As always, you can find all of our episodes on our website, capesonthecouch.com. We are on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Capes on the Couch. This episode is going to be released while the Kickstarter is still live, so you'll have plenty of time to go ahead and back this fantastic book. This episode comes out. You will also have time to get your tickets for PoochieCon, which
What'd
is...
you call me?
We will be making our first panel appearance at PoochieCon in Atlantic City on May 14th. So May 13th and 14th, you can go to poochiecon.com. Again, we'll have links to that in the show notes as well and get your tickets there if you are in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware area and can travel to Atlantic City and see Doc and I give a live panel presentation for the first time ever. We will be talking Vash the Stampede from the Trigon series. So can't wait to bring that to everybody's ears. And if you are likely not going to be able to make it to the convention, don't worry. We will be recording it and releasing it as an episode at a later time. But very much looking forward to getting into manga for the first time ever as a show. Doc has been kind of poking and prodding here and there like a velociraptor, testing the weak spots in the fence to see where he can break through. And with this convention panel appearance, I finally turned to him and I said, all right, it's a very anime and manga heavy con. Let's do
go.
this. Let's do this. Who should we do? And he was like, my body is ready.
Let's make this clear. The reason I ended up going with someone from Trigun is because it was at the request of my daughter because I introduced her to it. So
I was going to say Vash is overrated. You guys should have just done Guts from Berserk, but whatever.
I would if I actually took the time to really thought that Berserk mattered. Shots fired.
Oh, don't say that because Ariel will drop the Patreon membership over that. He was devastated when the creator died.
Yeah, I was too.
No,
It
seriously,
hurt.
no, seriously,
Yeah.
no, seriously, no, it's amazing. I was clearly
Yeah,
a
I know.
joke. Okay.
I like Trigun
Okay.
too.
Okay.
The problem with Trigun,
Ari was like about to like these sons of bitches. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cancel.
dude,
I'm not.
no,
No,
like,
I'm not that ridiculous. Don't worry. I still have my senses. So it's
yeah,
okay.
Trigun's awesome, but the manga for Trigun does not make any sense.
Right. That's
It's
So-
wild how
so-
much sense it doesn't make.
yes. I'm aware, and I was explaining the differences to my daughter,
Yeah,
and
the anime is awesome.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
she watched the anime, and I said,
Yeah.
and as I'm going through, I'm like, you have no idea how much simpler this is.
Yeah.
Because I did it backwards. I got introduced to the manga first, and I didn't like it. And
Well, I did it that way though. I watched the anime and I was like, this is awesome. I can't wait to read the manga. And I picked this manga. I was like, what the hell is happening? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
because it's filler, But
Yeah.
anyway, I'll leave it. at
But yeah, this is a whole nother episode. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm like, oh, I wanted to read the manga because I was like going to the source material, and now you're
Don't.
leaving a very
Just
bad
don't.
taste.
This
in
is
my
one
mouth.
of those rare moments. You guys have heard it here on Capes on the Couch. Don't read the book. Just watch the.
I still, with Anthony, because he asked me, what can I have it? I'm like, I still have it somewhere. I can't find it. But I do have the anime if you want it. So
I'll get there. We got a month, so we'll figure it out. But this could go on for forever. But in any case, Alan, thank you as always. Give our best to Will, and hopefully he didn't drop any paintings in the gallery tonight. And tell him, he was missed, and we'll catch him next time.
Will do.
Doc,
Thank you guys again.
as always, Doc, anything else you want to toss in?
not really. When you consider we've been talking about murderous grandmas, a lot of supernatural stuff, serial killers, detective mysteries, and all of that, I'm just gonna have a great night's sleep because I could die happy right now.
I bet you could. And it would probably be at the hands of someone who wants to see you do harm. For Doc Issues and Allen Dunford, I'm Anthony Sitko. Thanks for listening, and we will see you soon.
Capes on the Couch podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Dr. Issues is a psychiatrist, but he is not your psychiatrist and does not have knowledge of your individual situation. For any personal mental health concerns, please consult your own healthcare providers. For medical emergencies, please call 911 or the designated number in your area immediately. Remember that you are not alone and help is out there.